Good morning, everyone. Happy Thursday. We are going to do things a little bit out of order this morning and have our announcement, an announcement before Sierra gives you the other announcements for the day. I am Mrs. Mackenzie, and I teach creative writing here at the Academy, and I wanted to tell you about a special opportunity that comes up each year this time of year. The Academy offers the chance for its students to publish work, both written work and visual work, artwork, in a beautiful hard copy journal. This is something that many colleges do, not many high schools put together a publication of this quality, and it's an opportunity for you to put your work out there, which might feel a little bit scary, and I really encourage you to do it and to try, and to, hopefully it'll work. So this is a copy of last year's, so you can visualize this. There are copies in the library if you'd like to take a look at it, and it has artwork, poems, essays, and stories belonging to other Academy students. So I am going to introduce Ms. Drew, who is the co-editor of the Clear River Review, and she's going to tell you a little bit about how to get your work in print.
Do you want me to talk about submission guidelines?
Yes.
All right. Good morning. When you submit to the Clear River Review, you can submit prose, so short stories or essays. We ask that your fiction or nonfiction be 2,500 words or less. You also could submit poetry. We have a 40-line limit for poetry. And we'd also love to see your visual art. So that is photography, paintings, drawings, intaglio prints, anything. We do want to remind you that our journal is printed in grayscale. So while you can submit color art, do know that it won't be printed in color. So kind of keep that in mind when you submit. And we do need high resolution images. And if you need help with that, absolutely ask us, and we're happy to help you. We also have some prizes associated with our submissions if you choose to submit in that category. And Mr. Rain is going to talk to you about those prizes.
Mr. Can they see me now or not?
Yes.
Okay, all right.
They can't see that.
Oh, okay, all right. So the mission of the Colwell Center is global understanding. And so for the last few years, we have been partnering with the Clear River Review to help fulfill that mission in another way. So we are offering a prize or two prizes each for both written submissions and for visual submissions. And let me just read what I have here from the idea behind this. St. Johnsbury Academy's Colwell Center for Global Understanding seeks excellence in writing and photography that captures the essence of places, peoples, and cultures, whether near or far. So these essays and photographs will be judged for the quality of artistic expression and for content that shows an awareness of and sensitivity to what makes a place, people, and or a culture unique. So there are two first place $75 prizes and then $25 for each of the second prizes. So while certainly we are looking for entries that are written and photographs of the world and of people and of places and cultures, let's remember that St. Johnsbury and Vermont are also a part of that world. And so if your photography or if your writing sheds insights or lends a better understanding of people, whether near or far, we would love to look at your submissions. Thank you.
Do you want me to finish or do you? So to submit your work, there's going to be posters around campus, so please keep your eyes open. There is a bit.ly, bit.ly/Clear River, all one word and all lowercase, and that will bring you to the submission form. You also can find the submission form through February 1st at 8 a.m. Please let us know if you have any questions. You can email us at clear.river@stjlabs.com. Mr. Ford is going to put up a slide very quickly with all the information I told you. So if you need to write something down, it will be there. And any last words, Mrs. McKenzie?
While Mr. Ford is putting up that slide for you, just a couple things. Just wanted to let you know that when your work comes in and you submit it, it is looked at by a panel of editors, which consists of teachers here at the Academy, so social studies, English teachers, art teachers, administrators, also local writers, and some student alums who have published their work in writing. So your work will be looked at by a whole panel of people. So we hope you take that risk. And again, if you don't quite catch everything here that Mr. Ford puts up, there will be posters around campus with rip strips. So just grab the address there. Thanks so much, and we really look forward to seeing your work.
Good morning. Today is Thursday, January 14th, and it's a white day. All students, faculty, and staff, don't forget, you must order your lunch for next week by 8:45 a.m. today. If you have any questions, please stop by the Campus Life office and see Ms. Haggerty. Attention sophomores and juniors interested in applying for membership to the National Honor Society. The NHS application can be found at www.stjacademy.org under Quick Links by scrolling all the way to the bottom of the options. The application deadline is tomorrow. Please direct any questions to Ms. McCaffrey at mmccaffrey@stjlabs.com. Attention international seniors and juniors. The registration deadline for the January 30th TOEFL is also tomorrow. Any student needing to take the TOEFL should email Ms. McCaffrey at mmccaffrey@stjlabs.com to get the link to the registration form. Juniors are encouraged to sign up. Seniors will be given priority. Please email Ms. McCaffrey with any questions. The Science Department would like to recognize Esme Kimber, Liam Markey, and Luke Yan Chu for qualifying to attend the American Association for the Advancement of Science annual conference this February. Esme, Liam, and Luke conducted research sponsored by the New Hampshire Academy of Science and passed through a rigorous peer review conducted by scientists at Dartmouth College. They will be inducted into the American Junior Academy of Science and have the opportunity to learn from and interact with leading scientists from around the world, including Dr. Anthony Fauci at this year's conference. For more information about working with the New Hampshire Academy of Science, please see Dr. Desjardins and the Science Department. Congratulations for your accomplishments, Esme, Liam, and Luke. Congratulations. And happy birthday today to Katrina Jen. Happy birthday. Have an excellent day.
Thank you, Sierra. Good morning, everyone. And thank you so much to Mrs. McKenzie and Ms. Drew and Mr. Rain for reminding us about the value of art. I know many of you are making art and music and writing creatively and being creative in all kinds of ways, and we're so fortunate to have the teachers we do to help you do that. What you make and what you write, what you do creatively can really matter, and not just to you, though it should matter to you, but it can really matter to others. So please do consider taking the risk of sharing it. When there's news about violent insurrection in the Capitol, meant to overturn the results of our recent election, it can feel strange to be thinking about art. Some sometimes say that it's frivolous or superfluous. When there is that kind of news, when there's news that that insurrection is fomented from within, when there are warnings that there may be unrest around the country in the coming days before the inauguration next week, when there's news that our current president has just been impeached, for the second time, charged with inciting that insurrection and these violent events. When the news is that again, 4,000 American lives were lost in a single day, that vaccines for the COVID-19 virus are coming slowly and that hospitals are overwhelmed. When the news is that another Black life has been cut short by violence or deformed by unjust systems. When this is the news, it can be difficult to see what difference it makes to make a painting or a sculpture or write a poem or a story or compose a piece of music. But when the news has moved on, art and literature do critical work in our world and our culture. They do the work of creating historical understanding and helping us see what our lives are. I want you to think of that immense painting by John Trumbull of the Declaration of Independence, the scene in Congress of the founding fathers signing the Declaration of Independence. It comes to mind because it's for me, because it's hanging in the Capitol Rotunda in Washington, D.C. And so in the last few days, it's become the background of a lot of the images that are very surreal of last week's riots. It's not a perfect painting, and there's lots of room to critique it for lots of reasons. But I want you to think about how that image, if you're familiar with it, I wish I had it to show you. I wish I had it together the way Ms. Drew does. But look it up if you get a chance, if you're not familiar with it. But think about how, with all of its inconsistencies and its exaggerations, how that image has determined the way that we think about that moment in American history. That it was as heroic and triumphant as any moment on the battlefield, but that it shared and ushered in a possible society where the pen was mightier than the sword. In this society, the congressional chamber would be where conflicts would be resolved, where they would unfold peacefully in debate and discussion. That day in July of 1776 did not look like that, for sure. It was much hotter, for one thing. But aren't we glad that John Trumbull gave us this particular image of it? That he transformed the news of the day into this luminous historical moment that we want it to have been? The poet, one of my favorite poets, William Carlos Williams, who lived through both world wars and was a practicing physician, wrote something that I love and that comes to mind often for me these days. It is difficult, he writes, it is difficult to get the news from poems. Yet men die miserably every day for lack of what is found there. Art helps us to make sense of our lives and to savor them happily beyond the news of the day. We need art to help us to see order and possibility in the world, in what exists around us, and to open our minds to new forms of order that exist only in the imagination. Encountering beauty and just expression makes us want to create corresponding beauty and justice in the world. That makes it much less likely than that we will hurt each other. So we want to see the world through your eyes. We want to see your imagination. So it's a long, long advertisement. Please submit your work to the Clear River Review. I will see you again on Monday, which you know is Martin Luther King Day. We will be here together, and we're going to celebrate the holiday by having some special speakers and program for you throughout the day to help us reflect on the life and legacy of Martin Luther King and his enduring ideas, and particularly his legacy of service all week long next week. So stay tuned for more about that. Have a wonderful day, and I'll see you next week.